Everyone. Hi, everyone. How are you doing today? If you're new here, go ahead and introduce yourself. I want to know you. I want to meet you. Where are you watching from? And if you're seeing this gorgeous screen for the first time, my name is Miriam. I am a YouTube coach. I'm a YouTube coach. I help people start their YouTube channel from zero and get monetized within 6 months. Thank you for joining in. Please leave your comments. I want to know where you are tuning in from. I want to know in the comments. Go ahead and tell me where you are watching from. So today we have a very important topic. As you know, I come live every Sunday, 1 p.m. Pacific time. I'm a bit early today. Typically I'm usually like 1 or 2 minutes or about 10 minutes late, but today I'm 6 minutes early, which is a good thing. But we're still gonna keep to time. So if you're new here, go ahead and introduce yourself. Today we are discussing, hey, Oyoyo's World, my sister. Thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate you, sis. Today we're talking about how to overcome the fear of failure. What exactly causes us to have that fear? I mean, to think that we will fail in anything that we do at all. So today, come with me. I also want it to be an interactive session. So please do well to also contribute to the topic of discussion. So the truth is that fear is part of human nature. Yes, it is. I think it's just natural for us to have that thing called fear. However, I would also say this: I've have had my fears. Yes, it is very normal. Minnesota. Oh wow, amazing. Oh yes, well that's how is Minnesota today? I heard it's always cold there, right? Is it cold in Minnesota today? Wow, that's amazing. So the thing is, when things really don't go according to plan, you start to fear. You start to think it's the new normal. Like if you do something else, what if it also fails? What if you do the third one and it fails? And we begin to entertain those feelings, which, like I said, it's natural. However, when we do not curb it, it becomes a part of us. Yeah. So instead of investing, hey, Edibles by Kisses, thank you for joining in, my queen. Thank you for joining in. I see you, man. I saw that you dropped a video. I was about going to church, but trust me, I'll definitely catch up with it much later today. Hey, Walking Purpose, Monica Miles, I see you. Thank you so much for joining in. So let's talk about how to overcome the fear of failure. So the thing is, examine what is actually holding you back. What is that thing? Are you afraid of what people would say? Are you afraid of criticism? Of course, which is the same thing as fear of what people would say. Are you afraid that people will judge you? So let's talk about the causes. What causes us to have the fear of failure? So the first thing I would say is most of the time our childhood trauma comes into play. Maybe you failed a couple of times and growing up, unlike the way it is now, there's more awareness. People know not to do certain things again. Because when we were growing up, we were shamed for a lot of things. K business and Mr. Kayode Baba, thank you so much for joining in. By the way, this is one of my collections. This is one of my pieces. Like I said, I'm launching my ready-to-wear African-inspired clothing line, and this is one of my pieces. Hey, do you know the name of this dress? Don't worry, I'm gonna unveil the outfits like really soon. I'll be unveiling everything coming up for you guys soon. And guess what? I'm super excited. Guess what happened yesterday? I got a gift again from YouTube. YouTube sent me a gift. As in. But I'm gonna unveil it. I've not opened it though, and I'm so excited. I can't even open because I'm like, ah. When I saw it, I saw a card. I saw my name. I say, wow, Aslin, what's going on? Just keep adding value. That's what I would say. No matter what you do, just make sure that you're adding value. Thank you, Working Purpose, Monica Miles. So let's not digress. Let's go because I'm really excited. Aslin. So let's go back to what we're discussing today. Topic of discussion: how to overcome the failure. So the first thing I said is, let's talk about what actually causes the fear of failure. Like I said, our childhood, environments might have been one of the causes. One of the things that we experienced growing up might have caused. I'm sorry, guys. I'm kind of like having. Okay, so um we need to be very careful. We need to unlearn certain things. If possible, we need to, remind ourselves who we are, and embrace our new self. We're not that failure. We're not that person that, look, if I share my story, yes, so you need to buy it for your what size does your wife? Yeah, I think you don't want to miss it. I don't want to unveil everything here. Let me just keep the real deal, spiced up. So the thing is, we need to remind ourselves that we are not that person. We are not our past. Yes, our past is gone. And I think I shared this on one of my videos, on several of my videos. I don't know if you're aware that it took me 6 years to gain admission into the university. 6 years after I graduated from secondary school, from high school. It took me 6. Can you imagine? When all my mates had already graduated, imagine what happened to me during those 6 years of waiting. I must have felt like a failure at some point, right? I must have felt that, the world was like everybody was moving on except me. I must have felt all kinds of feelings, so that's why we need to reassess what our childhood. It doesn't matter what we experienced during our childhood. We should learn to to embrace who we are right now and try as much as we can to discard those negative feelings, those negative convictions that tell us, hey, you will fail. If you try that thing, you will fail. I'm telling you, if you need to now start to feed in the positive side of you, feed in that side of you that believes in whatever you want to do, right? You need to start believing in yourself. When you believe in yourself, you're already halfway there. And I'm going to share a story. I remember when I was in the university, when I was studying I was still for my first degree, I wanted to contest, for an election. And I remember when I got to the room that day, my other sister was in the room, and I told her, guess what? I told her, I said, guess what? I said, sweetheart, contesting. She said, are you crazy? Where will you get the money from? Guess what I told her? I said, watch me. And sometimes, honestly, till this day, I have to remind myself that if I can do it, I can actually do a lot more today. You know what I mean? I remember that time, I did not entertain fear, any kind of negativity, because I believe so much in myself. I believe so much in myself, and I don't think there's anything in this world. There's nothing. There's no mountain that is too high that we cannot surmount. I'm telling you. So you have to constantly tell yourself, especially when you were growing up, when you used to believe in yourself, I want to become a pilot, I want to become a lawyer, I want to do this, I want to do that. Why don't you put on that garment again and start to believe in yourself? And the same energy that you used in doubting yourself, use that same energy to begin to believe in yourself. Let me know where you're watching from. Watch me that was negative. You see, but you need to be positive. You need to consciously remind yourself you are not your mistakes. You are not your failure. You are not your past. You know what I mean? So we have to constantly tell ourselves, and it's a daily struggle. It's not, you won't get that in one day. Another reason, cause of fear of failure, is perfectionism. You want to be perfect. Oh, I want it to be like this. Then you don't even do anything at all. You are afraid of failure that you don't even move an inch. Let me also say this. Failure is an integral part of life. In fact, it's an integral part of success. If you watch some of my previous videos where I talked about, the fear of failure, I said failure is an opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. It's a learning process, so you don't have to be great the first time. You know what I mean? But you don't have to quit at the same time. Don't quit because you want to be perfect the first time. No, you have to keep at it. You have to keep learning. You have to keep trying until you get there. You reach that level that you want to attain in life. So please, discard those childhood trauma. Try. I know it's hard, and also feed into the positive, not the negative. Because most of the time we find ourselves, doubting. We find ourselves deliberating, thinking twice. Like, oh, are you sure it's going to work? Are you sure I'm not going to waste my money? No. Feed in the positive. You have to. And the third thing is over personalization. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because the truth is, our ego may actually lead us to over identify with failures. And you may think that your own is the worst. So we over personalize it most of the time. So I want you to get to a point. Hey, King Morgan, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining in. So we have to constantly remind ourselves that we are not our past. We are not our failure. We are not whatever happened to us when we were children, when we were kids. And that's, we should not allow it to hold us back. So why does the fear of failure hold us back? Why? So we're going to talk about why and how to overcome the fear of failure. So, most of the time, there are certain places that you work, organizational culture, let me put it that way. I remember where I first worked, my first corporate job experience, right? The culture of that organization was not it at all. I'm sorry to say, it wasn't okay at all. Like, they make you feel like you're walking on eggshells. They make you feel like there's nothing you can do to it's not something commendable. You can't be good at your job. No matter how good you are not still good at it, But you have to constantly remind yourself, hey, cut yourself some slack. Even if they fail to appreciate you, appreciate yourself. So sometimes where we find ourselves can actually instill more of this fear of failure in us, and we have to be careful. Today, I've come to a point where I know for a fact when something happens and somebody is trying to make me feel worse than than the issue really is, I tell myself, Miriam, it is not you, it is them. Because you're a reflection of how you treat other people. If you're a kind person, you're meant to be kind to people, even when they make mistakes. Treat them kindly. Yeah, the way you would treat a good friend, a friend of yours. I'm sure you don't treat your good friend that you hold in high esteem. You don't treat them unkindly, right? So tell yourself it's not you, it is them. People are a reflection of how they make you feel. If they make you feel bad, they are bad people. If they make you feel good, they are good people. So let's be aware of that. That's why I mentioned organizational culture. It may be where you work or where you find yourself, where you spend most of your time, that you can't help. For instance, if you work there, that's where you get your livelihood from. So you have to deal with such kind of people every day. If they try to belittle you or make you feel like you're not killing it, you're not contributing enough, or your effort is not appreciated, sweetheart, tell yourself, pat yourself in the back. Remind yourself, know who you are. You have come a long way. You have come this far for somebody to tell you that you're a failure. Sorry, you are not a failure. You are not. If it means you affirming every morning, tell yourself 10, 20, 50 times every morning. Tell yourself, I am not a failure. I am not a failure. You begin to believe what you tell yourself. So you tell yourself, I am not a failure. I am not a failure. I keep saying it until you begin to believe it. So even if anybody calls you a failure, you know for a fact that the person is just a joker, right? So we need to be conscious, of these things around us. That's why I said unhealthy organization culture can actually contribute to we being negative or being afraid of failure. Another thing is when we are afraid of failure, right? It makes us miss out on valuable opportunities. And I'll give you an instance. When we are afraid of failing, you want to be perfect, you want to do this, you want to do that. Let me give you an example. Let's assume you conceived an idea, and this is actually a personal experience too, although not everything is my fault in this case, but let's carry on. So many years ago, I and two friends of mine, were 3 in number, we decided to form a group, a singing group. I sing, right? So we started singing. It was good. We were good. And the 3 of us sang different keys, right? So we're going to really take it to the next level. I was ready to take it to the next level, but the rest of the 2 were not ready to take it to the next level, right? Okay, Ediblesbykisses said, you have to always believe in yourself. So you don't let people's words, actions, reaction weigh you down. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. We have to constantly always believe in ourselves, and we have to remind ourselves of who we are. Thank you very much for that. Edibles by Kisses. So what happened? What now happened to our group? We're singing, we recorded, excuse me, a couple of songs at that time. It's been a long time, a very, very, very long time. In fact, we were together before. What's this group? Let's Stay Together. What's her name? TY Bello. That group. What were they called? We were together before they were formed. And honestly, I used to see us in them. Like, I would have come out before these people. Who would have done this, who would have done that. You know what I mean? but really, maybe they were afraid of failure, right? And that's why they didn't carry on. But I was ready. It was such a way that we all had to come together, really. With the way we sing, I couldn't, at the time, I didn't think of going solo. Maybe I would have tried going solo, right? Maybe I would have tried going solo. So, I mean, fear of failure makes us miss out on valuable opportunities. It makes us miss out. Some people refuse to write exams because they feel that they will fail. They have not taken the test, too. They've not even registered for the exam, but they already believe that they will fail. So there's no point trying to take that exam, to even register. So please, you have to unlearn those negativity. You have to tell yourself. In fact, like I said, invest in those words of affirmation. Tell yourself every day, I am successful, I am smart, I am intelligent, I am a queen. I will achieve every good thing I want to achieve. Great things attract me. Great people attract me. You know what I mean? My name this morning, a good friend of mine sent me a clip. She was invited to speak on the TV, and I was like, are you serious? Seriously? I'm so proud of her, right? So I watched the clip. I was smiling throughout. I was happy. I was happy for her. I was like, are you kidding me? How did you get on the TV? And she told me somebody referred her. Somebody mentioned her name where it matters. Somebody mentioned her name in a room filled with opportunities. So imagine if they never knew that she had such potentials. They might have mentioned someone else. They might as well have mentioned someone else. And that's why it is important that we believe in ourselves. That is why it is important that we invest in positivity in ourselves. It is very important. Because if we don't believe in ourselves, we are likely to miss a lot of valuable opportunities. We are likely to miss a lot of great opportunities. And guess what? I understand, successful people actually love to win and achieve high standards. But when it becomes too strong in someone's life, it becomes a major obstacle. Let me take it again, or maybe let me say it in another way. You're so used to winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. You can't take a little setback. You can't take, failure. Like I said, failure is an integral part of life. No one is perfect, right? And things change. Yeah, there's a season, there's a time and place for everything. So sometimes when things don't go according to plan or according to how you wish, right? It doesn't mean that you would not try it again or not even attempt it. Because no. I don't want to fail. Who said you will fail? Nobody has said anything. Nobody has said anything. So you have to pour in positivity into yourself. You have to tell yourself, I am capable. I am a winner. I am not a loser. So you have to keep on, investing positivity in yourself. So another reason why, the fear of failure holds us back is loss of creativity. When the problem of, fear becomes really dominant, you don't even want to do anything again. You just chill. You just hang your boots. But we need to overcome that fear. If it is a particular circle, I'm sorry, not cycle. If it's a particular circle, if you're in a particular circle and they are very negative there, or they don't believe in you, or there's just something off about it, maybe you should leave that circle. Maybe you should leave that circle. Hey, Geeky Girls, Jonah, thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate you. Where are you watching from? Maybe you should leave that circle and invest. Look for a circle of positivity, a circle of people that believe in you, a circle of people that are rooting for you. I think I shared this last week. I put up something in a group. It was really big. It was big. It was like almost impossible. And everybody was rooting for me. You need to find yourself in such circle. When you find yourself in such circles, make sure you appreciate them. Don't leave. Meanwhile, the same thing I said in that circle, if I had said it in some circle of people who don't believe in themselves, small minds, small minds discuss people. Great minds discuss ideas. It's a bright idea. And oh, you're in Maryland. Amazing. How is Maryland today? So imagine if I had mentioned the same thing I said in that very positive circle, if I had mentioned it in negative circles, small minds, they would have thought, what is wrong with this one? What does this one even think she is? Who does she think she is? But it's just normal. And that's why when you're with people that are not, high flyers, people who are not dreamers and achievers, when you talk normal, it feels like you're bragging. And it's just normal. Normal talk. Nothing out of the ordinary. You know what I mean? So we need to be careful of the circles that we find ourselves in. Try as much as possible to discard people who are negative, people who don't see good in anything, because they don't even see good in themselves. I mean, in a way, you almost may not blame them. So that's why you have to refrain from those circles, right? And move towards people who believe in themselves. That's why most of the time it's good to, hang around people who are, of course, higher than you. It's okay to also, mentor other people, right? You bless people, you water other people, but I think majority of your circle should be people pouring into you. Oh yes, in as much as you also pour into people, make sure that you are getting more, being poured into. So now let's talk about how to overcome the fear of failure step by step. So the first thing I'll say is figure out where that fear is coming from. So when you look at the possible routes that are causing your fear of failure, which one actually resonates with you? Which one can you really quickly identify? Could it be that teacher when you were in high school, the teacher that said you're a failure? Hey, sis, thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate you. Could it be that teacher that said something negative about you, that said you will never amount to anything, and that thing has held you down? I want to tell you today, you have to break that hold, break it, and tell yourself, you owe yourself. You don't owe anybody, right? You owe yourself that responsibility of change. So you go back and tell yourself, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to succeed at this thing. I'm going to be successful at this thing. I'm going to try this thing. If I fail, that's fine, but I will succeed. Why not let's look at the possibility of being successful first? Because it's very easy for us to say, what if I fail? Why don't we start by saying, what if I succeed? Let's start. And it takes conscious effort. We have to consciously tell ourselves that, hey, we can do this. People that are doing it don't have 3 heads. They don't. They do not. So we can actually do better, and that's why we have to constantly, intentionally, it's an intentional job. It's an inside job. You have to do it yourself. You have to. No matter how much people believe in you, you have to believe in yourself first. You have to. Because it's you we're talking about. It's not someone else. It's you. So it's your responsibility. Like I said, we owe ourselves that responsibility of change. So the next, step, how to overcome fear of failure, is to reframe beliefs about your goal. Most of the time, having an all or nothing mentality leaves you with nothing sometimes. Oh, it has to be this way. Otherwise, hey, Sam, thank you. Thank you for joining me. How is Germany? Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you, man. We're going to be rounding up in 6 minutes. So, yeah, like I said, I like to keep the time, so that we do not. Yes. Thank you for that, sis. She said, you must have a continual improvement mindset. Yes. And importantly, very, very importantly, hang around people who are winning. Thank you. Thank you. It's actually getting cold. So I felt, let me stop the matte lipstick. Thank you. That's why I decided to use something glossy. Thank you, Sam. You must continually improve yourself. Yeah, Stacey's vlog. Improvement is very important. And the people that we hang around with most of the time, like I always say, if you hang around 5 successful people, you're likely to be the 6th person, the 6th successful person. But if you hang around 5 idiots, you're likely to be the 6th person. You know what I mean? So we have to be careful of the kind of people that we hang around with. Me, personally, when I smell something that looks negative in anybody, right now I have zero tolerance. I don't have the bandwidth to accommodate nonsense. I smell anything looking not even before negative, I have cut it off, because my peace is it's very, very important. My peace is very important. And I don't need anybody to come and steal my joy with negativity, because some people are good at it. They find a way to get, you maybe you're celebrating something, whether a small or a big win. A win is a win. Please own your win with your full chest. You're celebrating and they're like, in a big deal. What's the big deal? You don't need such people in your life. You don't. Because you, as creatives, I don't know if everyone in this chat is, hey, Wendy, sis, I was thinking about it. Was it yesterday or day before yesterday? But yesterday was the craziest day this week. Sis, how you day? Thank you for joining me. Yesterday was really crazy. Like, I walked from when I woke up till I slept. Like, yesterday was crazy busy. Some people, their vibe rub off on you, whether positive or negative. And that's why, thank you. When they said positivity is all I stand for. You see, so that's why you need to hang around people that are really positive, because they will rub off on you the same way negativity can rub off on you. So you want to feel yourself, surround yourself with people that are winning, people who are positive minded. People who will lift you, people who will bring balance in areas where you fall short. People who will not insult you for your mistakes. People who will not look for or look for ways to just bring you down. You don't need such people. You need people clapping for you when you're winning. And you also be that person to other people. Be who you are looking for in yourself. Be that person. As much as we want to be surrounded by positive people, we have to be positive ourselves. We have to be there for other people. We have to cheer other people up. We have to lift people up. We have to be a blessing to others. We should not only think of, being we are not parasites, right? We want to be a blessing as much as we want other people to be a blessing to us. Yeah, when they had to just take off that work yesterday, it was a lot, so I had to take it out. Thank God I am done. I'm done with it, and I had to revamp a lot of things, because my mother-in-law, she was here for about 6 months and she just left, so I have to fill in the gap somehow. So yeah, I'm taking things easy now. Thank you, Wendy. Yeah, I'm definitely going to visit you. Okay, Cynthia, thank you so much for joining in. So we have to be very careful. Like I said, we need to reframe our beliefs about our goals. Sometimes when you have that all or nothing mentality, it leaves you with nothing sometimes. Oh, it has to be like this. It has to be perfect like this. Or maybe some people actually copy people like Kim Kardashian, right? And that's where you see a lot of people going under the knife to, get a surgery, to get big butts and everything. You want to be like them. You can never be like them. And they can never be like you. They don't have a perfect body either, right? So don't try to be like everyone, and refrain from that all or nothing mentality. Sometimes leaves you with nothing at the end of the day. When you really want it to be like this, it has to be like this. No, 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 no. Be flexible. Just trust the process and hang on to God. God will definitely bring all. He's a good God, and he makes all things good in His time. In His time, He makes all things good. Thank you, Geeky. Geeky Girls Journal. I see you. When they say, "Oh yeah, you can't give what you don't have." Oh yes, you cannot give what you don't have. Absolutely. And the final point I want to say here is, learn to think positive. Oh yeah, learn to think positive. Thank you for following me. Sorry, I'm live on different platforms. Thank you for the follow. So our society today is actually obsessed with success, but it's important for us to recognize that even the most successful people encounter failure. So learn to think positive. Remember, if Disney believed the negative feedback that it got, he wouldn't have made it. And try. I also want to add this bonus tip. Try, no matter how bad things are, no matter what the situation is. Sometimes you find yourself in situations where it looks like the future is not looking like it. The future is not futuring. It's not looking tight. It's not looking positive. Learn to be still and remain positive no matter what. As long as you're still breathing, trust me, there is life and there is hope that everything that you want, all the dreams that you have, will come to pass in His own time. So thank you all so much for joining me today. Like I said, I don't like to keep this live too long. So I'm going to see you guys next week with another powerful and exciting topic. If you need me to speak on any topic at all, feel free to leave it in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to talk about it next week. So till I see you guys next week in another episode, keep winning and keep shining. And don't forget to check out my previous videos on grant scholarships and fully funded conferences, and of course my fashion show. I'll see you guys. Take care. God bless you. Bye for now. Mwah.